So hi, this is the Chrysler 300C, the Hemi engine, 5.7 liter. It's a rear-wheel drive car. It's a current model. It's about 9,000 miles. It's a rental. It's a really nice car. It has a lot of nice features in it. You know, it's very comfortable. It's pretty fast. It's quick, good acceleration, good highway mileage. It's a nice car. It's no Cadillac though. I want to show you a couple of things about it. There are some things I love about the car and there's some things I hate. Right off the bat, you see the steering wheel here. It's a kind of plasticky steering wheel, and it picks up highlights. It's very, very shiny here. When you're driving along, you see a glow from underneath the steering wheel. Very disturbing. I don't understand why Chrysler can't get that right. If it was a Cadillac, it would never have that problem. They fit in interior and finish and options, and the information center and things like that is not as intuitive as a Cadillac, for instance. They're struggling, but overall I'd say it's an okay car if you get used to it. I want to show you a couple more things about it. First I want to show you the engine. This engine was first developed in about 1953. And there you see it says Hemi right on it, 5.7 liter V8. That's about 350 cubic inches. This motor has hemispherical chambers. That was a big thing in the early 50s, and it's still a good idea today. It allows the engine to breathe. It breathes quite well. It's a little rough idling. It's not my favorite engine for that reason. It's not as sophisticated as the Cadillac North Star, for instance. It's an alternative to the Chevrolet, the famous Chevrolet V8, which is a wedge head engine actually. It still produces as much or more horsepower and built many more of these engines than Chrysler has ever done. The Hemi engine in the largest forms have powered dragsters and things like that since I said the early 50s. Certainly 55, 56 was their heyday. This car, the Chrysler 300C, was first built around 1957 or 58, the Chrysler series, the A, B, C, D, E, F. They were very, very powerful cars. It has a nice set of 18-inch wheels. It says Hemi right on it. There are things about the car, like I say, the looks kind of has that gangster look. It has this high belt line and low roof line, which some people like. It's sort of maybe a rap star or gangster type car. But overall, the lines and the curves and the bulging fender wells give it that muscular look. The tires could be a little bigger, I think. They don't quite fit the well. It's good nonetheless. I'll give you one idea why it's not a Cadillac. Chrysler can't get this right. I don't understand. This is just, get close and you can listen to the noise. This is the outside mirrors. Now they're folding mirrors. They're very nice. They fold in both ways. Of course, their power, their auto dim has a lot of nice options, but listen to the rattle. Both side mirrors do the same thing. Okay, I'm going to show you something else interesting with the car. The trunk. It's a really nice car from the back. Really borrowed from Cadillac lines. It borrowed from Monte Carlo. This is very much like my Monte Carlo taillights. But if you look inside the trunk here, this is really neat. Now remember, it's a rear-wheel drive car. Look at that. There's the battery. That's the right place to put a battery, over the right rear wheel. When we had race cars back in the muscle car days, I would always put my battery back in the rear trunk over the right rear wheel, which is the wheel that loses traction most of the time. It's not the case in this car as far as losing traction, because it has traction control. On this side, it's well lit this side. You see the nice style wheels and so on. Rear wheel drive is independent rear suspension. It's a very good design. I've been underneath the car, I checked it out very carefully, but it's not going to need the battery on the right hand side because there will not be any rear wheel lifting due to what would be called a live rear axle, where the drive shaft is turning this way and lifts the right rear wheel under hard acceleration. This one does not do it. I haven't tried it yet, but there's no doubt that this car would smoke those tires pretty easily. It's a pretty fast car. It's not as fast as the Cadillac, I don't think. It's not even as good riding or anything near the CTS, which is the closest thing to it in comparable price range. The better model Cadillacs would dust this car in a second. I mean, no problem. The V6 CTS Cadillac would probably dust this car also. However, Chrysler is struggling right now. They're doing the best they can. Overall, it's not a bad car. And if you like Chrysler cars, this is a nice car. The one thing that's most important to remember about this car, it's rear-wheel drive. New models of General Motors cars are all becoming rear-wheel drive. They will all in the future be rear-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive is the worst thing that ever happened to automobiles. They're going to disappear like dinosaurs. And Pontiac, General Motors cars, Pontiac, and all General Motors cars will be switching to rear-wheel drive by 208, 209. They'll all be rear-wheel drive. Right now the Pontiac 208 is available with a very large engine. It's a very powerful car. It's a rear-wheel drive car, and it's the wave of the future. So, to sum it all up, it's no Cadillac. It costs as much as a Cadillac. I would recommend to you, if you're going to buy a car like this, if you're looking for high performance, the CTS will best this car in every way. If you want more luxury, you'll have to wait for the rear-wheel drives to come out in the big Cadillacs, but even for now, the front-wheel drive Cadillacs are the cream of the crop. And I rent this car. If I were to rent another car, I would not rent this car. I would stick with the Cadillac. It's better all the way around. And as far as cars being important to the economy of the U.S., it's sad that Chrysler is having financial problems. It's because people perceive foreign cars as being better in some way. They are not. This is better than any Japanese or foreign car that I've ever experienced in this price range. So all I can say is the bottom line is buy American.